Notice from the Foundation Department of Miscommunications. For the sake of all your understanding, and for the sake of my sanity, this video will not be following the very limiting format screw presented in SCP-4428. Sorry, Jeremy. So, I was debating whether or not to do this, since part of the fun of 4428 is how the answers are all there, but they're like subtle enough for the casual readers to have their own interpretations of the piece without forcing the story down their throats. But at the same time, it leaves enough puzzle pieces for more analytical readers to put together the full story. So before continuing, I want to say that obviously spoilers are ahead, and if you want to try to solve the mystery of the piece yourself, please do. It is possible to discern what 4428 is beyond general speculation, as well as the rules of the documentation and a basic timeline of the days leading up to the writing of the document, all from clues left in the file. So if you're looking for the answers, look no further. Let's get on with the show, shall we? So to kick things off, I'm going to do a small section-by-section rundown of the piece. If you want to follow along, the link is in the description, but obviously I'm also going to show it on screen. Yeah. Alright, so starting off, we've got a notice from the DOMC, basically saying the document is going to be written weird. We can't tell you why. Follows a set of rules. We hope you can tell what they are. Then there's, I already clicked it, but there's a thing that says that it requires a non-anomalous comprehensive inoculation. And this is the inoculation. We've got three sentences. Or six. Dr. Michaels is Dr. Michaels. Dr. Michaels is not Dr. Michaels. The earth is round. The earth is flat. The sky is blue. The sky is green. As you can see, there's this blue text a lot. And I'll be going over that more in the actual D-class section. Okay. Communicability Index basically says that the information is 100% accurate and readily communicable. Wink, wink. And that people who think it's not, we're going to erase your memory so that you think it is. Okay. Item number. Dr. Michaels. Containment class. Safe. Alright? Yeah, I think you get it, right? You get what's going on here. Alright, cool. The conprots basically say, Dr. Michaels is not in danger. We want to keep it that way. So he's kept at Site 96 and he's not allowed to talk to anybody. Also, a bunch of custodians are going to follow him around and clean up. That's interesting. Description, pretty short. Dr. Michaels is non-anomalous human male, level 3 researcher at Site 96, 33 years old, unmarried, only child, no family aside from his parents. Boom, that's it. Addendum time. So, we've got this PSAB, a personal safety assessment battery, which is done to identify risks to his personal well-being, and it's wink wink because of his mental health. Obviously we know it's not. Now before we go into the log, let's point out this beautiful image of our lad himself, Dr. Michaels. Immediate surroundings redacted. Wonder why. So the interviewer and Michaels basically go over a bunch of questions, and from, well, here, I don't want to spoil anything until we get to the D-class section, but he says his name is Michaels. Interviewer gets a little nervous looking above him. So the interviewer is like, you checked in with the site psychiatrist. How did it go? He says, I've been feeling foggy for a while. Interviewer asks about that, and he says he has a looming feeling that he can't get out of his head. Something that just won't let go. He says he started having it right after they lost D4428-3, like within seconds. Person's writing in a notepad, says you had a traumatic experience. Blue text, so I'm trying to be subtle, but the blue text is very obviously it's false. You know, everything in the blue text is false. So the D class was part of his personal research team. Who else was on the team? Well, in a particular order, that would be Agent Rosewood, 4428-1, 4428-2, Containment Engineer Howard Winters, and Researcher Gabby Kalpana. They've all got footnotes that I'll go over later. The feelings are recurring. It pulls him out harder than he expects. Then he's asking about traumatic experiences, and he asks about his family. Do you have a brother? Yes, I have a brother. Kind of interesting that you have a brother, considering that you are an only child, Jeremy. So anyways, they talk about the brother for a while, about the brother being kind of a bully, weighing him down, not staying attached to him and not letting him go, and calling him a parasite. So that's, okay. Asks about his favorite color. He almost answers it, but then he doesn't. They're flipping through pages. It seems like this is a scripted interview. So then they talk about the sewage backup. Interviewer says they got a report that there was a huge pipe burst. And then, about a week ago, sent a task force. And then, after that, they had that fogginess that Michaels has. And that's the end of the PSAB. So then, finally, we have this little researcher note that basically says, it's basically Michaels saying, I'm completely fine. Nothing is wrong. Please, please help me figure this out. And that's it. That's the end of the article. So that's the run through. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of stuff that's going on that isn't quite explained. And so now, of course, it's time to declassify all this madness. So I'm just going to go right off the bat and say what the format screw is, which is that whatever this thing is, it cannot be referenced. It cannot be talked about. So that's like, it's an anti-meme. It's like SCP-477 3-2. Which is another one of mine. You can't talk about it. But that's not quite true. So first of all, it can't be referenced, can't be talked about. We know that from this warning, which is that the communication involving Dr. Michaels is to follow a strict set of rules, and that the custodial team is not permitted to discuss their duties or the situations surrounding them. Also, the redacted image. So they're not showing the background, presumably because whatever this thing is, if they record it on this official document, something bad will happen. And also, you might notice, SCP-4428 is not used once in this entire article. The item number is Dr. Michaels. So, obviously we can't talk about it, but it's not anti-memetic, because, first of all, if we go down to the tags, which are technically not canon, but anti-memetic, not there. And we can also tell from the article itself. So, there's a couple times when they have close calls in the interview, okay, the doctor's notes say you called him you called him a parasite. Michaels tenses up for a brief moment and then sighs and regains his composure. So, they almost described it. They sort of went around describing it by referring to the fake brother, and Michaels tenses up. He thinks they're going to describe it. He doesn't. They don't. Then, or actually earlier, where is this? I wrote this. I should know. Oh, it's right there. Okay. He says, Jeremy, what's your favorite color? Michaels is about to say purple. And then he goes, no, we can just skip that one. Are you sure? Just go to the next question. So, they can describe it, and they almost do a couple of times, but they don't actually describe it, so they're fine. Michaels is anxious. He doesn't want to accidentally describe it. Yeah. So, and also it's scripted, so they flip through pages. They, skip to the next question. It's scripted, and they both know the script. So, clearly, this isn't being included in the document for no reason. As we saw before, the DOMC itself says, we have designed this document in a way that heavily implies the rules. So, they want you to know what this thing is, but they can't let this thing know that they know what it is. Hence, the blue text. And so speaking of the blue text, so it's not just, this inoculation is designed in a very specific way. When Site 42's live stream covered this piece, they did a really good job of explaining the difference between the three things, which is that the three types of falsehoods, which is direct opposition, Dr. Michaels is not Dr. Michaels, a lie, so the earth is flat, and a non sequitur, the sky is green. So Earth is round, Earth is flat. That's like, people say that. People say the Earth is flat. It's not true. It's a lie. The sky is blue, the sky is green. Nobody says that. What? The sky is not green. You can clearly see. It's a non sequitur. So the blue text, there's three kinds, and it's always going to describe something that isn't true. Whether or not it's directly not true, like Dr. Michaels is in danger, or sort of not true, like it's 100% accurate and readily communicable. It's not, but they've got their ways to work around it. Now, let's talk about what this thing actually is. What this thing actually is a purple, as we can see from the favorite color question. It's purple, and it came to the site when there was a sewage backup and a pipe burst, sent the MTF down, and that's the first we know of this thing. And they have to clean up, they have to follow Michaels throughout the day and sanitize the area after he leaves. Now, there was an earlier version of this image that made it a lot clearer what the entity is, because it wasn't just the background that was redacted, it was also little bits on him. There would be like a cut taken here and like a little bit out of his head, and it looked really silly, so we replaced it with this. But basically, it's some sort of amorphous slime creature. It's a goo monster, and so it's like dripping everywhere, and that's why they have a custodial team. It's like a big, gross blob, almost. And it's attached itself to the back of his head, kind of. And that's why the interviewer glances above Dr. Michael's head and shifts in their seat. They're looking at this thing, and they're like creeped out by it. And it's why, also, the stuff about the brother, weighing our family down, a dead weight on all of us, especially me. He was attached to me. All this language is very evocative of, a parasite. And they even use the word parasite. He literally says, you called him a parasite. And since it is literally a parasite, Michaels tenses up thinking maybe he has described it. Now, why does Michaels keep tensing up? Well, that and the reason they don't describe it in the document is because if they do, it'll kill Michaels. Straight up, it'll kill him. And we can see that because right after the pipe burst, his whole team dies off. And they say it's in no particular order, but in fact the order is, or I think it's going in the other direction. So deceased as of 10/12, deceased as of 10/12, deceased as of 10/13, deceased as of 10/13, deceased as of 10/14. So October 14th, that is when Gabby Kalpana dies. And then presumably the next death is D-3. And then boom, Michaels starts feeling this fogginess. So, and these deaths, as you'll see, they're increasingly far away from each other. So the first deaths happen within a couple of hours, and then same, a couple of hours, maybe a bit longer, and then this one is like a day and a half. And so a day and a half, presumably they figured out somehow, some way to keep from referencing it, but they messed up and it killed researcher Kalpana. Then went to D-3. They accidentally described it, and it went on Michaels. But the problem is, they can't write a document about it because Dr. Michaels is an asset to the Foundation. The personal well-being of Dr. Michaels is to be insured. And that's basically it. Dr. Michaels in a bad situation because poor guy's got a big purple slime monster living in his brain. Boy, do I pity him. And that's it. That's everything there is to know about Dr. Michaels is not in danger. Thanks for watching. Go read the article. If you like it, give give it an upvote, huh? All right, bye.